What other intel agencies did you guys work with that collectively amongst each other, you're like, dude, I work with those guys. I don't trust them at all. And which intel agencies did you work with? You're like, I think those guys are fair. Who did you not at all trust, even though you had to work with them?
The Israelis.
You didn't trust them.
This is one of the most revealing and uncomfortable episodes Patrick Bet David has ever recorded. He brought on former CIA officer John Kiriakou, probably thinking it would be a normal intelligence chat. But what he got was a man who's clearly seen how ugly and manipulative Israel's Mossad is. And from the moment Kiriakou starts talking about Mossad, you can tell PBD didn't expect it to go this far.
Who did you not at all trust, even though you had to work with them?
The Israelis.
You didn't trust them?
Not as far as I could throw them.
You, or was that a cultural thing?
It was cultural, but...
You can tell he's hoping Kiriakou will say, yeah, it was just me, so he can move on and keep things clean. But instead, Kiriakou says the opposite. You can sense he's uncomfortable, like he didn't expect that answer at all. But Kiriakou doesn't stop there. He keeps laying out every dirty work Mossad has been doing, and it's honestly funny to watch PBD do mental gymnastics trying to defend it all and make them look less evil.
My very first encounter with the Israeli intelligence service, the Mossad, I was instructed to participate in a large-scale briefing of the Israeli Mossad and Shin Bet representatives in Washington. And we don't allow the Israelis into CIA headquarters because they would always come with gifts, and the gifts had always listening devices packed inside them. And somebody brings you a gift, you x-ray it. It's the normal process. And we're like, you guys can't keep coming back here every single time trying to bug our conference rooms. So no more. So,
and was it easy to x-ray and see that they had bugs in them?
Yeah.
What percentage of the time did gifts have bugs in them?
100%.
Be quiet.
No, seriously.
Are you kidding me?
Absolutely not. I wish I was.
100% of the time they brought gifts that had bugs in them.
Yeah. And we're like, okay, no more. You can't come on campus anymore.
Will you guys joke about it with them? You're like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What is this?
We
So
would
was
say,
it like a
"Come on,
joke?
Come on, you guys. No, they were serious. They were hoping one would slip through.
This part of the interview becomes almost unbearable to watch. PBD just can't accept that Israelis are doing bad things. He keeps throwing out these ridiculous questions to soften it, like he's desperate to find an innocent explanation. He asks if maybe the bugs in the gifts were easy to detect on the X-ray, as if the machine might have been broken or something. Then he goes on to ask if maybe they were joking. Like, seriously? Maybe they thought it was funny to give the CIA bugged gifts as some kind of prank. It's frustrating to watch because it feels like PBD is doing everything possible not to face the truth right in front of him.
So we had a safe house in Virginia, and we would meet with them there. So I'm one of like 8 analysts at the time. And because I was the junior most analyst, I went last. So, the political analyst, the econ analyst, the oil analyst, the military analyst, they all take their turns. And it comes to me. And because I was overt at the time, I used my true name. So I said, my name is John Kiriakou, and I'm going to brief you today on Saddam Hussein's state of mind. And the Mossad guy, his glasses were like this. And he says, spell your name? So I spell it. And then in front of all my colleagues, he says to me, you are Jewish? And I said, I am not recruitable. I am not recruitable. Don't even think about it. I was so furious that he was ready to cold pitch me right there in front of all my colleagues. Like, let's have lunch afterwards. Like, get out of here, moron. Try to recruit me in front of everybody.
John, was that across the board with everybody that didn't trust them the most?
Oh, yeah.
What percentage of guys you work with didn't trust Mossad?
100%. I'll give you another example.
Did you notice how every time the officer exposes them, PBD suddenly switches into this weird interrogation mode? Instead of reacting like a normal person who'd say, oh my God, that's insane, or showing even a bit of shock, he starts grilling Kiriakou with these strange technical questions that almost make him sound doubtful. When most people would be disturbed by what they're hearing, PBD is there asking, is it everyone or just you? Or what percentage of the time did that happen? It's the most robotic way to respond to something that serious. Almost as if he's more focused on controlling the narrative than actually listening to the facts being laid out in front of him.
So when I went on a tour to Bahrain, the guy I sat next to at headquarters and his wife went on a tour to Jerusalem. They were absolutely lovely people.
The story he's about to tell is one of the most disturbing ones you'll ever hear. And yet, What makes it even more uncomfortable isn't just the story itself, but PBD's reaction. Or rather, his lack of one.
They were absolutely lovely people. Husband and wife tandem team. They were declared to the Israelis. So the Israelis knew that they were CIA officers, and they went to Jerusalem for a 2-year assignment not to work against the Israelis. We don't work against the Israelis. So when they arrived, the chief took them to Mossad and said, you already know them, but now they're going to be here for 2 years. She's going to work on Palestinian issues, and he's going to take Arabic classes at the university. Easy. So they're there for a few weeks. The ambassador has a welcome party for them, and they go back to their house after the party, and all the living room furniture had been rearranged while they were gone. And they're like, okay, the Israelis break into the house. We get it. It's your country. All right. You don't have to be jerks about it. That December, they go to a Christmas party at the ambassador's residence. And when they get back to the house, people had taken shits in all their toilets and left it unflushed.
What?
Yeah. Why? It's just an intimidation thing. They do their 2 years there. The ambassador has a going away party for them. They drive back home, and when they get home, the dog is whimpering under the dining room table. Somebody had cut his tail off and wrapped it in gauze and medical tape. Like, why? So when this happens, and it happens all the time, we have to go to the Israelis and say, stop harassing our people. And they're like, okay. And then they stop for a year or two, and then they start doing it again.
Why do you...
After listening to all those disturbing stories, did you notice how PBD never once said anything bad about them? Not even a simple acknowledgement. You can almost feel that he's holding himself back. He's scared his handler might not like what comes out of his mouth if he slips. And the moment the tension builds too much, he does what he always does. He changes the topic.
Okay, give me one you trusted the most.
The Brits. So I worked closely with them in different countries all around the world.
Who would you put second on who you guys didn't trust?
Didn't trust?
Behind Israel.
Well,
You can tell exactly what he's trying to do here. He's trying to spread the blame around, to make it sound like the Israelis aren't the only bad ones, like maybe it's just a general thing in the intelligence world. But it completely backfires. Because the countries Kiriakou lists next are already known US rivals.
you can't trust, obviously, the Russians, the Chinese, the Iranians, the Cubans, the usual cast of characters. I will say I had a serious problem with the French.
Nobody's surprised that America doesn't trust these countries. That's expected. The real shock is that Israel, the so-called greatest ally, is sitting at the top of that list. So instead of saving face, PBD ends up highlighting the exact opposite of what he wanted. You can almost feel how painful that must be for him. The guy who's always saying, Israel is our greatest ally, having to sit there while a former CIA officer ranks them right alongside America's biggest enemies. Make sure to subscribe for more breakdowns like this.